Breaking first at 4, partial human remains are found in the search for Gabby Petito's fiance. How investigators are connecting this to the disappearance of Brian Laundrie. And it's the information so many parents have been waiting for. How the White House plans to roll out vaccines for children as young as 5. And it will be different than how it happened for adults. So did you see that big fireball that lit up the sky over Metro Detroit overnight? If you missed it, there is another big display coming tonight. Our Paula Tutman has the out-of-this-world details on both. Hey there, Paul.
Yeah, hey, Karen, I'll tell you what. October 20th, and just a moment ago, I saw a sailboat going up the Detroit River. But don't worry, the party's over. We're going to be transitioning to something much more autumnal. I'll tell you all about it straight ahead.
Local 4 News starts now with a breaking news alert.
That breaking news, 2 people are in custody in connection to the murder of 2 parents at a gas station on Detroit's west side. Marcia Nash and her boyfriend, Benson Lindsay, were shot at the Marathon gas station on West Warren near the Southfield Freeway Monday night. She was holding her 9-month-old son at the time. Our Sean Lay is working this breaking story. He'll have the latest details when you join us at 5. We also do have more breaking news, this time in the search for Brian Laundrie. Human remains have been found near a backpack that likely belonged to him. A senior law enforcement official tells NBC News the partial remains were found in Florida's Carlton Reserve. The fiancé of Gabby Petito has been missing for more than a month. A Laundrie family attorney says his parents went to the park to search for him this morning and directed the FBI to this location. Laundrie is considered a person of interest in Petito's disappearance. Her body was found in Wyoming last month. The FBI is expected to update the situation in the next 30 minutes. Of course, we'll bring you the very latest. Our other top story today, the big coronavirus developments, with the White House laying out a plan to vaccinate children. We'll have everything parents need to know in just one moment, but first, the state has just released new numbers on COVID's impact here in our state. Over the past 2 days, we saw another 7,100 cases. That is an average of 3,554 cases a day. We also did lose another 135 lives. Now, to the plan to vaccinate children. If the CDC and the FDA authorize the Pfizer shot for kids as young as 5, millions of children would immediately qualify. But this rollout will be different from the ones we've seen before. So we're going to bring in Kimberly Gill. She's working the story from the newsroom with the new plan from the White House. Kim.
Karen, an FDA panel is expected to meet next week to decide whether to authorize the Pfizer vaccine for children between the ages of 5 and 11. The Biden administration says it's ready to go if it gets the green light. So the administration says it has enough doses for 28 million children to be vaccinated immediately. It will be 2 shots given 3 weeks apart, but it's a smaller dose than the one given to adults. The focus will be to make children and their parents feel comfortable. The White House says 25,000 pediatric and primary care providers will give out the shots, and trusted places such as schools and community centers will also hold clinics.
We will be ready to get shots in arms. Kids have different needs than adults, and our operational planning is geared to meet those specific needs, including by offering vaccinations in settings that parents and kids are familiar with and trust.
And earlier this month, the White House told governors to expect to begin vaccinations for the 5 to 11 age group in early November. The Pfizer vaccine is already available for children 12 and older. We'll have much more on the plans coming up on the news when you join us at 5, including a letter that our own Dr. Frank McGeorge received about the rollout. So Karen will have that coming up at 5. Until then, we'll send it back to you.
All right, we look forward to it. Thank you, Kim.
Sure.
Well, a big victory today for the only state official fired in the Flint water crisis. An arbitrator ordered the state to pay nearly $192,000 in back pay and other compensation to Leanne Schechter-Smith. She was head of the state's drinking water office when Flint's water system was contaminated with lead. She was demoted, then fired in 2016. Now, according to arbitrators' report, the state failed to show cause to fire her. The state is likely to appeal. A nice day out there, but the rain is about to move in, so let's get our first look at our forecast with Paul.
Yeah, thanks a bunch, Karen. It has been another beautiful afternoon. Now, a few of us this morning, especially to the north, had a couple of showers this morning. I didn't expect that, but I did expect this. What a beautiful afternoon, and temperatures have responded. We're back near or above 70 in most areas. A few of you have some wind off the water, and it's a little bit cooler, but overall we have a west to southwest wind at about 8 to 14 miles per hour. So we're dry for now with all that sunshine, and you can see, though, it gets a little more unsettled to the west, so all of this is going to be a process moving in. I think we're going to be dry immediately for the evening hours, but then we have an increase in shower chances, especially as we get to late evening into the overnight hours, and even a better chance toward tomorrow morning when we may see some thunderstorms. Be back to tell you all about that in just a few minutes, Karen.
All right, thank you, Paul. The gunman in one of the nation's deadliest school shootings has pleaded guilty, admitting to murdering 17 people during a rampage at his former high school in Parkland, Florida.
To count one of the indictment, murder in the first degree of victim Luke Hoyer. How do you wish to plead?
Guilty.
Nicholas Cruz pleaded guilty to 17 counts of first-degree murder and 17 counts of attempted murder. Family members packed the courtroom, many crying, as the names of each victim was read. Cruz killed 14 students and 3 staff members on Valentine's Day 2018 at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. Today, he apologized for what he did, but some of the victims' families say that doesn't make a difference.
I don't want to hear that he's sorry or that he wants to do good. As my son said, he should have thought of that February 13th.
So the case now will move to the penalty phase, where a 12-member jury will determine whether Cruz is sentenced to death or life in prison without parole. Prosecutors say they will argue for the death penalty. Protesters voiced their concerns today with the current draft of the state's new political districts. They gathered outside the TCF Center, where the first of 5 public meetings took place. Michigan's Redistricting Commission has asked for feedback from Michigan residents. Speakers today say the current draft of maps dilute the voting power of Detroiters by putting them into districts with nearby Oakland and Macomb County suburbs.
We want to make sure that Detroit has districts that are entirely within the city of Detroit. That can be done. There's several maps that have been put forth that the commission can consider.
We consult with our voting rights analyst, our attorney, and on every one of these districts that we draw, and make sure that we're in compliance with law.
So the commission plans to vote November 5th on those maps after a 45-day comment period. The final maps will be adopted by late December. All right, I have to ask, did you see that mysterious fireball that just lit up the sky overnight? People from Clinton Township to Romulus to Pontiac say they did, and now we may have a better idea of what it really was. The American Meteorological Society says it was likely a piece of space debris entering the atmosphere, but this is just part of the show. Tonight, a meteor shower will be at its peak. The weather might impact the galaxy's fireworks display, but experts say it is still worth staying up past your bedtime. Paula Tutman joins us live to explain why. A big night ahead, Paula.
Yeah, you know what? It really is. And what's great about this kind of science is everybody has a laboratory. It's right here outside, and there's the sky. Here's the icing, a blanket and a cooler of goodies. And a lot of experts are saying that this is really a good one to keep the children up, or at least get the children up to watch. Last night's Sky Show, courtesy of the ingenuity of man, made for quite a spectacle, according to Mike Narlock, head of astronomy at Cranbrook Institute of Science.
More likely than not, it was something that human beings made that was coming back to Earth.
But tonight, the show is courtesy of the universe. The Orionide meteor showers, basically the cosmic bugs on the windshield of the world, likely left by a famous comet.
It's a special one, I think, because it is the result of Halley's Comet. When comets go around the sun, they develop these beautiful long tails. I'm sure you've seen them in pictures. And those tails are made out of the bits of the comet nucleus, the comet head. And the comet leaves those things in our solar system, sort of like a breadcrumb trail.
And at Rogers Elementary School in Pontiac, 4th and 5th graders in Mrs. Schmidt's class have already come up with reasons their parents should let them stay up past midnight to see the show.
Let me see it because I had never seen one before, and I might never see it again, and I want to see it so bad. And please let me stay up in midnight and I will do all my homework. It's probably 1% chance that I'll ever get to see that again.
We watched a video of it today so that they could kind of see what happened. And we talked about how they could look at it tonight and see it a little bit more.
Dr. Shannon Schmull is with the Abrams Planetarium at Michigan State University and the Young Astronomers Club.
This will look like it's coming out of the constellation of Orion. So if you, during meteor showers, they're named after the constellation where they appear to radiate from, because this is a particular point in our orbit where we are going through a debris field.
But it is science and history dancing together.
I say never, ever, ever try and dissuade a child who's curious about the universe around them. Give them the opportunity. Yeah, tomorrow they might be a little sleepy and a little cranky, but if they do happen to see something for the first time tonight and it sparks their interest, who knows where that may lead.
Yeah, you know what? And here's the thing. The back of a pickup truck is really only optional. The optimal time is between midnight and the rise of the sun. All you have to do is go out, take a look for the 3 notches in Orion's belt. That's how you'll see the constellation. We're told, be a little patient. You might see between 10 and 20 per hour. It's not going to be a huge show, but it's a great one for children to cut their teeth on. Other really big shows, great fall sky this year, Karen, November and December. I'm excited because of those skyward fireworks. In my cooler tonight, I'm not going to have goldfish. It'll be martinis.
I was going to ask you, Paula, what kind of snacks are in that cooler.
You know it.
You know it. I knew the answer. That's okay. You can sit in
I know you did.
the bed of that truck and watch that show. That sounds pretty fun. We appreciate it. Thank you, Paula. All right, your toiletries may get more expensive. We're going to take a look at the popular brands that may see some price hikes in the coming weeks. Also, a shipping backlog means containers are spilling into neighborhoods. They're blocking cars and, in one case, crushing them. But first, why 95-year-old Queen Elizabeth abruptly canceled a 2-day trip this morning. That's next.